Back. Melissa Deely here, Integrative Health Practitioner. And today I'm back for day 7 of my series on toxins. And I'm going to be talking about ways to remove toxins safely from your body. Let's face it, we have to accept the fact that there are toxins in our body. There's no avoiding them altogether. Yes, we can take certain steps that I've already talked about in previous episodes in order to prevent too many toxins getting in our body, but we're never going to prevent them all. So assume there are toxins in your body. And if you want to know, how toxic your body is, you can certainly do my Discover Your Toxic Load quiz. I can drop the link to that below. But assume you have toxins in your body. Now what? Well, AMA is actually the cause of all disease, and that is that toxic buildup. So it's really important to be getting these toxins out. We need to remove them by moving our lymph tissue and helping the toxins move through, by flushing our kidneys and cleansing our liver. So for our lymphatic system, it only moves if you move it. So what are some ways that you can get your lymph system or drainage system moving? There's manual lymph drainage, so that's a form of massage, self-massage, as well as dry brushing. And I can put a link to someone else's Facebook video on how to dry brush below this as well, because you might find that really helpful. As well as rebounding, the rebounder that you jump on, just that movement up and down gets your lymph drainage system moving. So if you have a rebounder, start jumping. If you have a trampoline, start jumping. Walking and exercise in general gets the body moving and gets our lymph tissue moving. And there are also certain herbs that you can use to do this as well. You can use a copper tongue scraper as well, which is really a fascinating concept, but to help move toxins out of the mouth and off the tongue. The problem is we have become a sedentary population, and that results in the toxins not being moved through our body, and meanwhile more and more toxins are getting into our body through our food, through our water, and through our environment, and that is causing disease. So let's talk about kidney cleansing, because our kidneys are also very important to the detox process. Not as important as the liver, but we got to keep all of our organs functioning at an optimal level. So it helps to clean the blood. It's not the powerhouse of the liver. And we have to make sure that we're not dealing with leaky gut, because when we deal with leaky gut, things like proteins are getting into our bloodstream, and they can result in kidney stones, and other, antibiotics can be getting into our bloodstream, and other drugs, other food, etc., etc. And then it just makes it so much harder for our liver and kidneys to do their job. So flushing the kidneys, you want to be on a low protein diet, on a low oxalate diet, and then you want to be increasing some supplements such as B6, magnesium, and calcium. This helps break down the oxalates, and then some herbs. So, and then there's some teas that you can be drinking, such as stinging nettles, marshmallow root, dandelion root, uva ursi, as well as horsetail. And you don't have to do all of them. Those are examples of teas that you can be drinking to help with this process and hydrating and flushing things through. And then a morning drink to help with this process is to start off with a handful of 3 to 4 stalks of celery, add some parsley, a thumb length of ginger and turmeric, a whole beet, and then the juice of a whole lemon, and drink that down, and then keep drinking those teas that I mentioned earlier through the day. Use the low protein diet and the low oxalate diet, and do that for 2 to 3 days to give your kidney a really great flush. And then when it comes to detoxing the liver, I honestly recommend the liver detox program that I run and have taken so many clients through, because it's incredibly powerful. It works. Everybody feels better when they finish it, and some people are feeling better just within the first week. And it includes supplements that support phase 2 of liver detoxification that we don't get naturally through our food system, and it just makes it so much harder for our liver to function optimally when it's not getting the nutrients that it needs. However, if we're cleansing the liver rather than a detox, you want to be on a low-fat diet that is plant-based, because high fat needs a lot of bile to break it down, which makes the liver have to work harder to produce that. And so the low-fat plant-based helps soften bile, and then some malic acid helps soften that as well. And you want to do that for 1 week to help expel it into the intestines and push things through. Epsom salts dilate bile ducts as well, and you can eat grapefruit, which further helps to soften bile and get it to flow. Olive oil also helps to do that, but it is a fat, so you have to be careful in that regards. So those are ways that you can cleanse the liver versus detox, and safe ways that you can get toxins out of your system. And then you want to do an actual liver detox quarterly. And depending on your detox score, you might start off with a 3-week detox and then do the quiz again at the end to see what your score comes down to. And then perhaps quarterly, you're going to do a 7-day for the rest of the year, an ongoing basis, because that way the toxins come in and you keep getting them out. And on the months in between, you can just do a 1-day reset, allowing the body to go into autophagy, using shakes that are multivitamins on steroids so your body gets what it needs without having to go into digestion mode, so that it can be in detox mode for that extended 24-hour period. And that is how you keep the toxins that are coming in, getting them back out, so your body isn't getting bogged down and AMA isn't causing disease. Your inflammation levels are going to be at a much more natural level, and you're not in chronic inflammation, and your body won't be signaling disease. We have to create the environment within our body so that it is inhospitable to disease in order to live that long life that everybody wants to live purposefully and joyfully. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week with the next episode in my Toxins series.